I passed the PMP on my first try, and it did not get me a single interview. Most people hear that and think the PMP failed me. It didn't. I was just asking it the wrong question. And if you're staring down a $655 exam fee and 100 hours of studying right now, you need to ask the right one before you spend either. Hey, I'm Damon, I run PM Career Launcher, and before that, I spent months applying for project manager roles after 300 applications and 50 rejections. PMP in hand, still couldn't get in the door. So when people ask me if the PMP is still worth it in 2026, I don't answer with a yes or a no. I answer with what I wish someone had told me before I spend the money. That's what this video is. Here's the question everyone asks. Will the PMP get me a job? That's the wrong question. And here's why. The PMP isn't designed to create project management experience. It's designed to verify experience you already have. PMI requires 3 years of leading projects with a bachelor degree, or 5 years without one, plus 35 hours of training just to sit the exam. So if you don't have the experience yet, the PMP was never going to be the thing that gets you hired. It confirms what's already there. It doesn't manufacture what's missing. The right question is different. Is this the highest return thing I can do with my next 60 to 120 hours? Not does PMP work in the abstract. Does it work for the specific problem sitting between you and your next role right now? That's the lens for the rest of this video. Let's get the real numbers on the table, because most of what calculates online about the PMP is either outdated or exaggerated. The exam costs $405 if you're a PMI member, $655 if you're not. Membership itself is $139 a year, so joining before you book actually saves you money over paying full price. After you pass, you're not done. You need 60 professional development units every 3 years to keep the credential active. Renewal itself is $60 for members and $150 for non-members. Passing the exam buys the house. It doesn't cancel the property tax. Now here's a number that actually matters more than any of that. Most prep guys estimate 60 to 120 study hours. At 10 hours a week, that's 6 to 12 weeks you're not spending applying, networking, or interviewing. On salary, PMI's own 2025 survey found PMP holders report a 17% higher median salary across 21 countries. In the US specifically, that's $139,000 median, about 24% above non-certified respondents. Those numbers are real. I'm not going to tell you they're not. But here's the part almost nobody says out loud. That's a correlation PMI is reporting, not proof that the letters caused the race. People who complete a 50 to 60 hour credential requiring 3 years of experience are already, on average, further along in their careers. The PMP doesn't erase that. And PMI just rebuilds the exam. As of July this year, the new version shifted more heavily towards agile and hybrid scenarios, added AI as a stability content, and put 26% of the tests on business environment instead of pure process knowledge. It's a real update. It's not a reason to panic, and it's not a reason to rush either. So how do you actually decide if this is worth it for you? Not in general, but right now. 3 questions. First, pull out 20 to 30 real posting for the roles you actually want. Not aspirational roles, the ones you apply to this month. Count how many require PMP, how many prefer it, and how many never mention it. That number alone tells you more than any online debate. Second, be honest about what's actually stopping you today. Is that employers are filtering you out because you're missing a credential they explicitly asked for? Or is it something else? A resume that doesn't translate your experience into project management language, interviews where you freeze on you don't have direct PM experience. It search that's disorganized enough that good applications are going nowhere. The PMP only helps if the credential itself is the wall. If it's not, you can pass exam and still be stuck exactly where you started. Third, run the actual math. $405 to $655, plus 60 to 120 hours. What else could that time buy you? Rewrite your resume properly? Reaching out to 15 people already doing the job you want? Getting through 20 real interviews instead of 0? There's no universal right answer here. But most people never run this comparison. They just default to get another certification because it feels like progress, even when it isn't the actual fix. Here's the honest version of my own story. When I got my PMP, I hadn't done that first step. I assumed the letters would speak for themselves. They didn't, because my resume still didn't show a hiring manager what I actually done. The certification was fine, it was never going to fix a problem it wasn't built to fix. If you're not sure whether a credential is actually your blocker or is something else entirely, I built a free tool for exactly this. It's called the PM Career Changer Bottleneck Finder. It takes 2 minutes and it tells you specifically what's actually standing between you and your next interview. Links in the description. Go find out before you spend the money or the 100 hours. Let me be specific about when the PMP genuinely moves the needle. If your target postings keep listing it as required or strongly preferred, that's a real signal, not a maybe. A lot of current listings across construction, healthcare, and tech roles. And the pattern holds. It shows up required, preferred, or as an asset, almost always sitting next to years of actual delivery experience, never replacing it. If you already have that experience and the credential is the missing checkbox, get it. It's a fast, well-defined fix. Now here's the harder truth. Studying can feel like progress. It's controlled. It's measurable. You get a score at the end. Applying and getting rejected feels like nothing. No score, no clean feedback, just silence. That difference is exactly why certification becomes such an easy place to hide. You can spend 3 months technically working on your career while your applications stay at 0. With over 1.7 million PMP holders now, the letters get you into more conversation. They don't finish the conversation for you. Your experience still has to hold up once you're in the room. So is the PMP still worth it in 2026? Yes, when it's solving your actual problem. No, when it's a comfortable way to avoid the uncomfortable part of the search. The BLS still projects 78,000 project management openings a year through 2034. PMI expects global demand for this work to grow 64% by 2035. This job path isn't going anywhere. The only question is whether your next 60 hours should go toward a credential or toward whatever is actually standing between you and your next offer. Figure out which one it is first, then spend the money. If you want help figuring that out, the Bottleneck Finder link is below. I'll see you in the next one.